My friends, there will come a day when your dreams will look too far, your strength will feel too small, and your heart will whisper, maybe it's not meant for me. That's the day. You must not stop, because that's the day your destiny is testing your courage. Everyone wants success, but not everyone wants the sweat, the sleepless nights, the silent battles that come with it. We all love the light, but who's willing to walk through the dark to reach it? The truth is, life doesn't give what you wish for. It gives what you work for. It gives what you push for. You see, the difference between the person who makes it and the one who doesn't is not talent. It's not luck. It's the one who pushes one more time when everything says, quit. Push yourself, not to prove the world wrong, but to prove your soul right. Because when you stop pushing, life stops moving. But when you keep going, something magical happens. The impossible starts to bend. The walls start to crack. And one day, the world looks at you and says, how did you do it? And you'll smile because you'll know you didn't do it overnight. You did it every night. Every single time you decided to push yourself until everything became possible. My friends, discomfort is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher, your invisible mentor, your silent sculptor. Every time life pushes you into an uncomfortable place, it's not punishing you, it's preparing you. Think about it. When does a muscle grow? When it's stretched. When does a diamond form? Under pressure. When does a seed break open? In the dark. The same rule applies to your life. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. It happens when you're trembling, uncertain, scared, and yet you decide to keep moving. You see, most people pray for an easy life. But the truth is, an easy life never made anyone strong. The people who rise, who inspire, who conquer, they're not the ones who avoided pain, they're the ones who learned from it. They looked at their discomfort and said, you will not defeat me. You will define me. Every challenge you face is like a personal gym for your soul. Every disappointment is a dumbbell of endurance. Every failure is a push-up of faith. Discomfort refines your character. It humbles your ego. It sharpens your purpose. And it teaches you one priceless lesson. That strength is not something you're born with. It's something you build. When you push yourself through pain, something extraordinary happens inside you. Your tolerance increases, your focus deepens, and your inner voice transforms from I can't into I must. The problem is, we've been taught to run away from discomfort. The moment it gets hard, we quit. The moment it hurts, we pause. But discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're growing. You're evolving. You're becoming the version of yourself that you've always prayed for. The pain you feel today is simply the price of the power you'll hold tomorrow. So when life gets heavy, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Don't run from the fire, walk through it. Because on the other side of discomfort lies your destiny. Every time you feel resistance, remember this: the universe is not trying to block you, it's trying to build you. It's shaping your capacity to handle everything you once thought was impossible. My friends, when you embrace discomfort, you unlock growth that comfort could never give you. You stop living like a victim of life and start living as a student of life. You stop waiting for circumstances to be easy and start training your spirit to be unbreakable. And one day, you'll look back at everything that once scared you and you'll smile because you'll realize those moments didn't break you. They made you. They didn't push you down. They pushed you forward So the next time you feel uncomfortable, don't hide from it. Lean into it. Push through it. Because that's where your new life begins. That's where impossible starts turning into possible. And that's where you discover the strength you never knew you had. My friends, one of the biggest reasons people give up on their dreams is because they want everything to be perfect before they begin. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect mood. But life doesn't wait for perfection. It rewards progress. The truth is, perfection is an illusion that keeps us stuck in hesitation. You don't need to be perfect to start. You need to start to become perfect. Every great achiever, every artist, every leader you admire, they all began imperfectly. Their first step wasn't beautiful, but it was brave, and that bravery is what separated them from those who only kept planning and never began. When you chase perfection, you're chasing something that doesn't exist. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs real people who are willing to try, fail, and try again. Progress means you're moving, you're learning, you're becoming. It's not about getting it all right the first time. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel ready. Because readiness doesn't come before action, it comes through action. Every small step you take today, every imperfect attempt, builds momentum. And momentum is far more powerful than waiting for the right time. Think about a sculptor. When he starts with a rough block of stone, it doesn't look like anything special. But with every strike, every imperfect cut, every adjustment, something beautiful starts to emerge. That's how growth works. You are that sculpture, and your progress is the chisel that's shaping you into who you're meant to become. But if you wait for everything to feel certain, you'll never begin to carve your masterpiece. You'll stay staring at the stone, imagining what it could be, instead of becoming what you could be. Progress is where transformation lives. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, it's full of mistakes, but it's real, and what's real always wins. The truth is, perfection kills growth. When you demand perfection, you reject learning, you avoid risk, you fear judgment. But when you embrace progress, you allow yourself to be human, to learn, to stumble, to adapt. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail, they're the ones who refuse to stop even when they do. My friends, stop waiting for everything to align. Stop thinking, I'll start when I have more time, more confidence, more clarity. The stars will never perfectly align for you. You must align yourself with your purpose and start walking anyway. Progress is not about speed, it's about consistency. You can walk slowly, but never walk backward. Each day you show up, each effort you make, no matter how small, it matters, it compounds, it builds. You see, perfectionists chase approval, but those who focus on progress chase evolution. When you focus on getting better instead of being flawless, your energy changes. You stop fearing failure and start embracing it as part of the process. You stop judging yourself for where you are and start being proud of how far you've come. Remember, even the smallest step forward is still a step forward. So today, promise yourself this: I will not wait for perfection. I will move, I will build, I will grow, even if it's messy, even if it's slow. Because progress today is better than perfection tomorrow. Every tiny move you make toward your goal whispers to the universe, hey, I'm ready. And when the universe hears that, it starts moving things in your favor. Opportunities start appearing, energy starts flowing, and your confidence begins to bloom. Because you didn't wait to feel ready. You became ready by taking action. So keep walking, my friends. Keep growing. Keep pushing forward one imperfect step at a time. Because in the end, perfection doesn't create success. A progress does. And when you choose progress over perfection, you'll look back one day and realize everything you dreamed of became possible simply because you kept moving. My friends, there's a moment in every journey when your body wants to stop, when your energy fades, and your willpower feels like it's running out. You feel tired, empty, and drained. But let me tell you something powerful. Your body doesn't give up first, your mind does. It's not your muscles that stop you. It's the story you tell yourself about how tired you are. The human mind is a battlefield. And most people lose the war long before they even reach their true limits. You see, the mind has a way of protecting you. The moment it senses discomfort, it starts whispering lies. This is too hard. You can't do this. 6. Maybe you're not made for this. But those thoughts are not facts. They are just feelings. And feelings change the moment you decide to keep going. The truth is, you're far stronger than your mind allows you to believe. The average person gives up at 40% of their actual capacity. That means when you think you're done, when you think you've hit your limit, you still have 60% of strength left inside you, waiting to be awakened by your persistence. Every athlete, every achiever, every dreamer who's made history, they all reached a point of exhaustion, but they didn't let their mind convince them to stop. They learned to push past that mental wall, because the wall is not real. It's a reflection of fear disguised as fatigue. When your body says, I can't, your mind has to say, just one more rep, one more try, one more day. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is found in that as one more. A pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. When you stop just because it's uncomfortable, you train your mind to quit. But when you push through, when you decide that you'll go beyond what feels possible, you train your mind to fight. And a trained mind can do miracles. It's not about denying pain. It's about mastering it. It's about looking at that burning feeling in your chest and saying, you won't stop me, you'll strengthen me. The strongest version of you doesn't live in comfort, it lives in your breaking point. That's where you discover who you truly are. That's where you meet the part of yourself that refuses to surrender. Every time you ignore the voice that says, give up, you're building mental armor. You're shaping a mindset that won't collapse when life gets heavy. Because life will get heavy. There's no avoiding that. But a strong mind doesn't ask for a lighter load, it builds stronger shoulders. Think about this. Every great mountain you climb, every goal you chase, every dream you fight for, it all demands mental stamina. Your mind must be trained to endure pain without panic, to feel fear without freezing, to face failure without folding. The ones who reach greatness aren't superhuman. They've just learned to silence the noise inside their head that says, stop. They've learned to replace it with, keep going. My friends, your mind is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. But if you always quit when it hurts, you'll never know what you're truly capable of. You must learn to sit with the discomfort, to breathe through the struggle, to trust that the storm will pass if you just keep moving. You'll be amazed how much energy appears when you stop giving attention to fear. The moment you tell your mind, I'm not done yet, your body listens. It finds power it didn't know it had. So the next time your mind tells you to stop, pause for a second and smile. Because that's not the end, That's the beginning of growth. That's the line that separates average from unstoppable. The mind quits before the body does, but the soul never quits. The soul was built to rise, to endure, to conquer. You just have to remind yourself, I'm not weak, I'm not tired, I'm not done. I'm just getting started. Keep pushing when your mind screams no. Keep going when it feels like nothing is left. Because when you win that war inside your head, every other battle in life becomes easier. The day you control your mind, you control your destiny. And on that day, my friends, everything that once seemed impossible will finally become possible. My friends, the reason so many dreams die is not because people aren't capable. It's because they keep negotiating with their goals. They say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll go to the gym when I'm in the mood. And day after day, they bargain with their destiny. They trade consistency for comfort. But the truth is, the moment you start negotiating with your goals, you start delaying your greatness. Discipline is doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like it. Because feelings are temporary, but commitment is what changes your life. You see, the path to success doesn't ask, are you motivated? It asks, are you committed? Motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. But discipline is like gravity. It grounds you. It keeps you steady even when everything around you is spinning. People who succeed aren't always inspired. They're simply loyal to their purpose. They've made a decision, not just a wish. And that decision becomes their daily standard. When you wake up and don't feel like working, that's when discipline speaks louder than your emotions. When you're tired, when you're hurt, when no one believes in you, discipline says, do it anyway. It's not about being perfect every day. It's about showing up every day. It's the small, unglamorous moments that build empires. The late nights, the early mornings, the repeated efforts when no one is watching. That's where champions are born. Every time you negotiate with your goals, you tell your dreams they're not important enough. You teach your brain that comfort is more valuable than growth. And soon, that becomes a habit of delay, a habit of excuse, a habit of weakness. But when you stop negotiating, when you treat your goals as non-negotiable, you teach your mind something new, that no matter how you feel, you move, you act, you persist. That's when your brain starts respecting your intentions. That's when life begins to shift. Think of the people you admire. They all had moments of doubt, exhaustion, and fear. But they didn't pause every time they felt uncomfortable. They kept their eyes on the mission. They understood that discipline is not a punishment, it's a privilege. It's the proof that you are serious about what you want. They understood that success is not found in passion, but in persistence. Because passion makes you start, but discipline makes you being finish. But you can't keep saying you want something and then do the opposite of what it requires. You can't want health while indulging your laziness. You can't want peace while entertaining distractions. You can't want success while making excuses. Your actions must reflect your ambitions. And when they do, something powerful happens. Your identity begins to change. You no longer see yourself as someone trying. You become someone becoming. Discipline transforms effort into identity. And yes, discipline is lonely. There will be days when no one claps for you, when no one sees your effort, when you question why you're even doing it. But those days are sacred. Those are the days you build credibility with yourself. Those are the days you prove that you can depend on you. Because when you no longer need external validation, you become unstoppable. You stop working for approval and start working for purpose. My friends, stop making deals with your comfort. Stop pushing your dreams to later. Later becomes never. Every time you choose comfort over commitment, your dream gets smaller. Every time you choose discipline over excuse, your dream gets closer. It's a simple equation: easy choices, hard life; hard choices, easy life. Which one you live depends on which one you choose today. So from this moment, make a promise to yourself: I will not negotiate with my growth. I will not bargain with my future. I will not let feelings decide my destiny. Whether I'm inspired or exhausted, happy or heartbroken, I will do it anyway. Because consistency builds strength, repetition builds mastery, and discipline builds freedom. Remember, my friends, success doesn't require you to be extraordinary every day. It only requires you to be faithful. Faithful to your routine, faithful to your word, faithful to your dream. The world belongs to those who keep showing up, long after the excitement fades, long after the applause stops. Don't wait for the perfect mood. Don't wait for motivation. Let discipline drive you. Because when discipline becomes your default, success stops being a question. It becomes a result. And on the day you stop negotiating with your goals, you'll discover something incredible. Life will finally start negotiating for you. My friends, if there's one truth that separates the dreamers from the doers, it's this: your life changes the moment your daily habits do. People talk about wanting a new life, a better future, more success, deeper peace. But then they wake up and repeat the same routines that keep them trapped in the same cycles. The world doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you repeat. Your habits are the silent architects of your destiny. They are the invisible forces shaping who you're becoming every single day. It's not the big, dramatic moments that define your success. It's the small choices you make when no one is watching. What time you wake up, how you spend your mornings, what you feed your mind, whether you give in to distraction or stay loyal to your focus. These tiny decisions may look insignificant, but over time, they either build you or break you. Every habit is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. And every day, you're casting those votes, consciously or unconsciously. The strongest people in the world don't rely on motivation, they rely on systems. Because they understand motivation fades, but structure remains. You can't trust your mood to carry your dreams. Moods change with the weather. But discipline, ritual, and consistency, they anchor you. They protect you from the chaos of life. You can't build a temple with weak stones, and you can't build a strong future with weak habits. Your habits determine your health, your focus, your peace, your mindset. They decide how far your potential can stretch. You can pray for growth all you want, but if your habits don't align with that prayer, you'll stay in the same place, wishing instead of becoming. You can't plant laziness and expect purpose to grow. You can't water distractions and expect clarity to bloom. Life gives back what you practice daily. Every successful person you admire didn't become great overnight. They built habits that matched their vision. They practiced consistency when excitement faded. They trained their minds to stay disciplined when no one was watching. Because habits are the quiet language of self-respect. When you hold yourself accountable to good habits, you tell your mind, I'm worth the effort. You tell your dreams, if I'm coming for you. You tell your fears, you don't control me. The beauty of habits is that they don't require perfection, they only require persistence. You don't have to make giant leaps every day, just small steps in the right direction. A few pages of a book daily turn into wisdom. 10 minutes of gratitude daily turns into peace. A simple workout daily turns into strength. Tiny actions, multiplied by time, create unstoppable transformation. But here's the catch: bad habits compound too. Every time you skip, scroll, or postpone, you're building a pattern of delay. You're teaching your brain that excuses are acceptable. So, my friends, ask yourself, what habits are you nurturing right now? Are they leading you toward the life you want or pulling you away from it? Because your future is being built quietly in your everyday choices. Success isn't built in the spotlight, it's built in the silence of discipline, in the stillness of morning, in the repetition of effort that no one else sees. And yes, changing habits is hard. It feels uncomfortable. It requires patience. But remember, your old habits didn't appear overnight, and your new ones won't either. Growth is a slow fire, not a lightning strike. You don't need to transform everything today. You just need to start today. You just need to take ownership of one small part of your life and improve it. Because once you master one area, the energy of progress spills into everything else. My friends, if you want to change your life, stop waiting for inspiration. Design routines that pull you forward even when motivation disappears. Wake up with intention. Move your body. Feed your soul. Practice gratitude. Read something that stretches your mind. Speak words that empower you. Protect your energy from negativity. These small habits might not give you instant results, but over time, they will give you a completely new life. Every day is a blank page, and your habits are the pen writing your story. The question is, are you writing a story of growth or a story of repetition? Are your habits moving you toward your potential or keeping you comfortable in your past? Because one day the results will show, and they will either be your pride or your regret. So choose carefully what you do daily, because excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Peace is not a moment, it's a habit. Confidence, success, clarity, they're all built on the foundation of what you do when no one is watching. Push yourself to build habits that honor your dreams. Because once your habits align with your goals, you won't have to chase success. It will begin to follow you. My friends, failure. That word alone has the power to shake confidence, to make people hide, to make dreams die before they're even born. But let me tell you something straight from the heart. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the path to it. Every great story ever written, every victory ever achieved, every success ever celebrated was built on a foundation of failures. The only difference between those who make it and those who don't is how they interpret failure. The weak see it as the end, the strong see it as feedback. When you fail, life isn't saying, you're not good enough. Life is saying, you're not done learning. It's showing you what doesn't work so you can discover what will. Every failure carries a message, a lesson hidden inside pain, waiting for you to uncover it. The people who grow are the ones who listen to those lessons instead of running from them. But most people don't. They let one rejection, one setback, one mistake define their worth. They start believing the lie that they're not capable. But failure doesn't define you. It refines you. It scrapes away arrogance, builds resilience, and teaches humility. Think of the seed buried in the soil. Before it grows, it must crack. It must break apart to release its life. That breaking isn't destruction, it's transformation. Failure works the same way. It breaks the shell of comfort and ego so your real strength can emerge. But if you avoid failure, you avoid growth. If you hide from the lessons, you hide from your potential. That's why the ones who rise are the ones who aren't afraid to fall. They see every setback as a stepping stone, a chance to evolve, not retreat. My friends, the truth is, failure hurts. It stings your pride, it bruises your ego, it shakes your confidence. But that pain is not meant to stop you, it's meant to teach you. It's the tuition you pay for wisdom. Every time you fall short, you learn what needs to change. Your approach, your mindset, your patience, your timing. That's how mastery is built. Not by success after success, but by mistake after mistake, refined by reflection and action. The lessons learned in failure are lessons that success could never teach you. You see, the world often celebrates the outcome, the medals, the applause, the victories. But the real beauty lies in the process, in the moments when no one's watching, when you're trying again for the 100th time, when you're rebuilding from scratch, when you're tired, but refuse to stop. That's where character is formed. That's where greatness is born. The ones who achieve the impossible are not the ones who never failed. They're the ones who refused to stay down. They got up again and again and again until success had no choice but to surrender. Failure is not a signal that you're unworthy. It's a reminder that you're trying something bold. It means you cared enough to take a risk, to step into uncertainty. And that courage alone makes you extraordinary. The only true failure is giving up. Because when you stop trying, you stop growing. When you stop growing, you stop living. Life will always test you, not to destroy you, but to develop you. Every time you fail, you're being sharpened. You're being sculpted. You're being shaped for the moment when everything aligns. Imagine if a sword refused to go through the fire because it didn't want to melt. It would never become sharp enough to fulfill its purpose. You are that sword. The fire of failure is refining you, not ruining you. Let it burn away your doubts, your fears, your excuses, and what will remain is your strength, your clarity, your power. My friends, don't let failure make you bitter, let it make you better. Don't see it as a sign of weakness, see it as a sign of effort. People who never fail are people who never try. And people who never try will never truly live. You must learn to fail forward, to fall and rise with new wisdom each time. Each scar, each setback, each rejection is just proof that you had the courage to face life head on. And here's something beautiful. When you learn from your failures, you stop fearing them. They lose their power over you. You realize that falling isn't fatal. It's just feedback. You realize that failure doesn't take you backward. It just redirects you to where you're meant to go. You begin to trust life's process, even when it hurts. Because you understand that every delay, every detour, every disappointment has meaning. So, the next time you fail, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this showing me? Don't drown in self-pity, rise in self-awareness. Don't let a single defeat convince you that your dream isn't worth it. Because every person who ever achieved something meaningful has a story of failure behind their success. It's not their talent that made them unstoppable. It's their ability to extract wisdom from pain. Remember this, failure is not your enemy, it's your instructor. Listen to it, learn from it, and then move forward with greater clarity. Every time you fall, you're not starting over from zero. You're starting over from experience. And that makes you unstoppable. So my friends, embrace your failures. Don't run from them, don't hide them, and don't be ashamed of them. Wear them as proof that you had the courage to try. Because one day, when you finally succeed, and you will, those very failures will be the reason your success feels so earned, so meaningful, so real. And you look back with a smile, knowing that every no, every not yet, every fall was secretly guiding you toward the moment when everything became possible. My friends, the loudest voice that stops most people from reaching their potential isn't the criticism from the world. It's the whisper inside their own head. That quiet, constant, doubting voice that says, "You're not good enough. You'll never make it. You always fail. You're not like them." And the saddest part is, most people believe that voice. They carry it like truth, when in reality, it's nothing but a collection of old fears, unhealed wounds, and borrowed opinions from others. You see, the mind can either be your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. The difference lies in how you talk to yourself when no one else is around. We grow up in a world that teaches us how to talk to others, how to be polite, how to be respectful, how to be kind. But no one teaches us how to talk to ourselves. We're so careful not to hurt other people's feelings, but we have no problem tearing ourselves apart inside our own minds. We criticize our looks, our choices, our mistakes. We replay our failures and call it reflection. We compare our journey and call it motivation. But all we're doing is poisoning the roots of our confidence. My friends, the voice in your head is powerful. It can build you or break you. Every time you tell yourself, "I can't," you're teaching your brain to surrender. Every time you say, "I'm not enough," you're planting seeds of limitation. The mind listens to what you say. It takes your words as commands. If you constantly feed it doubt, it will find reasons to doubt. If you constantly feed it courage, it will find ways to overcome. That's why you must learn to silence the critic and speak to yourself like someone you're responsible for saving. When you start replacing "I can't do this" with "I'm learning how to," something shifts. You move from helplessness to hope. You start creating a mental space where growth becomes possible. And remember, your thoughts are not facts. They are habits. You've repeated certain thoughts so many times that they've become beliefs. But you can change them. You can rewire them. You can reprogram your mind by being intentional about the words you feed it. Think of your mind like a garden. If you plant weeds, weeds will grow. If you plant flowers, beauty will bloom. You can't blame the garden for what you keep planting. The same applies to your inner voice. If you keep nurturing self-doubt, you'll harvest anxiety. But if you start nurturing self-belief, you'll harvest peace and confidence. That's why your self-talk is not just a small thing, it's everything. It decides how you see yourself, how you act, and how you recover when life knocks you down. You see, the world outside is already full of critics. There will always be people ready to doubt you, to laugh at your dreams, to question your choices. Don't join them. Don't become your own enemy. Be your own ally. Be the one voice inside your head that says, "Verf, I can do this. Sapphire, I will figure it out." Da says, "I am growing." Because when you talk to yourself with compassion, your brain begins to believe it. It stops fighting against you and starts fighting for you. My friends, I've seen people with all the talent in the world crumble under the weight of negative self-talk. And I've seen others with barely any advantages rise beyond every limitation simply because they believed in themselves when no one else did. Belief is not arrogance, it's alignment. It's choosing to stand with yourself instead of against yourself. There will be days when you'll fail, when things won't go as planned, when your efforts won't be recognized. On those days, your inner dialogue becomes your shelter. The way you speak to yourself determines whether you'll rise again or sink deeper. Tell yourself, it's okay, I'm still learning, I'll try again. Don't shame yourself for falling, thank yourself for trying, because effort deserves encouragement, not criticism. And yes, there will always be a part of your mind that doubts. That's natural. The goal isn't to silence it completely. The goal is to not let it drive the car. Let doubt sit in the passenger seat, but don't give it the steering wheel. You keep driving, you keep going, you keep reminding yourself, I am not my thoughts, I am the awareness behind them. When you start speaking to yourself with kindness, you'll notice how life starts to respond differently. Challenges won't feel as heavy. Rejection won't sting as deep. Failure won't feel final. Because you'll have built a voice inside you that's stronger than anything outside of you. And that's power, real power. My friends, if you can master your inner dialogue, you can master your destiny. Stop saying, why? I'll believe in myself when I succeed. No, you'll succeed when you start believing in yourself. It's not confidence that creates action, it's action that creates confidence. And that action begins with the words you tell yourself every single day. So, speak to yourself like someone you love. Encourage yourself like you would a child learning to walk. Forgive yourself like you would a friend who made a mistake. Lift yourself the way you wish the world would. Because the moment you start treating yourself with that kind of compassion, your life begins to change from the inside out. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and realize something profound. That the voice that once doubted you has now become the voice that drives you. That the same mind that once feared failure now celebrates effort. And that the same heart that once whispered, I can't, now boldly declares, everything is possible.